Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Contest of Speed. It is EU1 this evening. Unfortunately, you having to listen to my voice this evening because Thomas isn't here. But the other half of what is going to be your commentary duo for the season, Lewis, is here.
Yeah, I am here, and good evening.
Good evening, yeah, good evening. Lando Norris has joined the session in a Williams. That's a great start. I have no idea who that is. So we're going to be playing. You don't have Lando?
No, I've got 14 guys, and I can't see Lando.
Who's currently 14th in a Williams?
Roik. Pens.
Lovely. I should know that because that is the other half. So Roik has turned into Lando Norris. He's had a transfer over the Christmas break as Lando, and he's gone back to Williams. That should be interesting. We have got 14 drivers. We've got a few joining through qualifying, and should get up to 17 or 18. EU1 is continuing to look for drivers because it is the strongest tier that we have in terms of pace-wise. If you feel like you can mix it in with the big boys, please watch. Please sign up, and I'm sure we can fit you guys into a seat as soon as possible. It's a much changed lineup this evening, Lewis, although most of the reserves that have been brought in are I would say EU1 quality.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to this season in general. It's going to be 18 races, going all the way to June, and the longest seasons, obviously, it's the final season before the new game, so it's a mammoth season. It's a long road, and judging from last season, it's not about the first part of the season doesn't really make much difference. It's all about the run-in. Those final that second half of the season is you can really turn your championship around. So a lot of guys, it's going to be very green. They're going to be green. They're going to be fresh. It's not going to be maybe their best races, as we all know, as we've done in our first race this year.
I was going to say, as we found out last night, that it was a little bit chaotic at times, but dusting off the cobwebs. It wasn't too bad.
Got one safety car in the end, which I admit helped me, but it was not actually. It was actually very plain sailing race, but Bahrain can be like that. It's quite rare to have. I mean, it's obviously happens safety cars, but it's such big runoff areas. You are quite lucky if you get a safety car around here. It's more. It's a race of attrition. And what do you reckon strategy-wise we're going to have? Obviously, you did the hard to medium. Or did you hard to soft?
I did hard to medium.
Yeah, which I thought is strong. Like a lot of the time, there's guys at the front who now, because of the tyre allocation being free in the race, will start on the hards, won't they? Go long and then have such an advantage on the medium. But yeah, it's one of those where you could extend to the soft tyre if you've got the pace and you can make the hards last. But
I tried that in AM2 on what was it, Tuesday evening, early Wednesday morning. It's a weird one. And then we saw BU3. We saw Mr. Wizard doing wizard things and going soft medium, and that worked, and it was very strange. But yes, so I don't think there's a set strategy. Obviously, it should be very interesting. Lando Norris is gone, and Roik is now there. Strange.
Hey.
So yeah, very interesting. Most of these guys come to the end of their first runs. Let's talk through the lineups. These will change by next week, and hopefully I'll have a graphic or something to let everybody know. But currently, at the moment, in the Red Bull, we have written down it's Bremskepper and Minions, who we saw end of last season. Bremskepper's going to be going cross. He's going to be cross-play. He's going to be replaced likely by AJ, who you see tonight currently in the Red Bull, conveniently.
Yeah.
And he's going to come up from EU2. In the Haas, we have an empty space and Pappy, who's couldn't make it this evening. So Bama is in, who we know is very, very quick, especially from the AM side. You're looking at your AM1 champion right there. He's possibly could set the battle for AM1 versus EU1.
Absolutely.
And then we've got Williams, we've got both here, Reek and Niels. Thank goodness, because otherwise that means I'm going to have to step up, and we don't want that, do we? That would be disastrous. And then at Ferrari, we have, I think, going to put my neck on a line, favourites, definitely for the constructors this year. We got Vamu and Vaporizer. That is a prolific pairing.
Absolutely.
I feel.
If you've ever seen one.
That is going to be very, very strong, that lineup, and it should be very exciting to watch. In the AlphaTauri, we have Haz, who was in EU2 up to EU1. We've also got Charlie. Charlie's made the step up as well. Charlie, a long time ago, was in EU1. And he dropped down a couple of tiers. He's worked his way back up, and he's back up to EU1 again. So Charlie is up there, which is good. That's your driver lineup at AlphaTauri. In the Alfa Romeos, we've got, well, Corey should be here. He's the one that's missing, and not a good start on the copybook, is it? Missing your first race when you sign up for it, but we'll move on. Corey's going to be alongside. I'm going to say it, Richard, but his actual Discord name's Bread, which is a lot easier. So Bread is currently in the other Alfa Romeo, and you see him there this evening. The Alpine should be Peppertrol, another one that's not showing up this evening, which is not a good start. He's alongside Manny, who unfortunately couldn't make it, but Manny is going to be in the Alpine. In the Mercedes, we've got Donny Brove, who's the E3 champion, however, showing the suitable pace according to the powers that be to be in E1, so that should be interesting to see how he goes. He's alongside LOI Kajoko, who we saw a bit in EU2 last year and was towards the front. So Mercedes, Lewis, probably the one slightly out of position from the knowledge that we know of both of them, but both very capable drivers, I feel.
Absolutely. If we look at Donny won the EU3 championship last year. I did give him a run for his money at the end, but he just had the edge on pace, and around here, I think generally in quali he's very strong as well. So I expect Donny to be around that definitely the top 10. He's just on a hot lap now. He's currently P7, but I reckon he could definitely be around that top 5 area if he can get it right.
If he can get it right, and we know he probably can get it right on his day. We then go over to McLaren. Now, it was lined up to be Fruit and Troye a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, Troye can't now commit to the season. That would have been a monstrous pairing up against the Ferrari team. But we have got, not written down, but we have got Hodrick, who's just joined us recently. He joined us this week. He's going to partner Fruit in the McLaren. And as we can see, he's off to a great start, currently sitting in third. So with what looks to be good pace and Fruit's experience, especially in this league, we could be saying a McLaren versus Ferrari, Lewis, rolling back the years.
Absolutely.
On that one. I think Ricky's giving me some information. McLaren favourites trust. Yes, Ricky knows a bit more about Hadrick, our new driver. So, of the late 80s and 90s. God, what a world, eh? What a world.
Absolutely. So we've got 6 minutes left on the clock, or 6:30 minutes now. I don't know if I got the same as you. 6:30 now.
I have got 6:30 now, and everyone is here. We have 17 drivers, which is fantastic. So realistically, we should have been up to 19, at least for this evening. But I'll be having work. Well, actually, no. EU1's tier representative this season, Lewis. Would you like to know who that is?
Yeah, go for it.
It's your co-commentator.
Oh, yes.
The wrath of a duchy is something magnificent. Let's have a look. Let's see how AJ does. AJ did okay yesterday, so most of the guys, you got AJ, Jamie James, Jack Hawkey, and Electric Blade all raced this week and yesterday, so they should be up for it. So a lot of EU2 guys have stepped up, but these guys are have the capabilities of pushing the EU1 guys, so it should be interesting to see how they get on. Jack Hawkey, especially Lewis, I felt yesterday got slightly, what's the word I'm looking for, robbed.
Yeah. Big safety car as well. It made everyone's. Some people, because it was 2 laps to go, some people were able to get away with it, but I mean, the hards were so slow at the end, and a lot of guys on the softs. Donny is in the pits, so he's not going to improve on his lap. We've got a lot of people in the pits getting ready for their final attempt of a quali run.
Already we're into the mid 27s. Bama's up there. But you know, guys, some of the guys that thought they were going to be out of it are actually doing all right. Donny's up there in 5th for 28.2, which is beating some of the race winners from last year. Minions is in 6th, just behind him. The Williams pair.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how Fruitful does. Vamo Vamo has done a lap. He is P8. Fruitful is in the pit, so he's going to do 1 lap, I guess. Charlie on an out lap. Charlie's going to be the first one to set a proper lap, I think.
Fruit's just asked me if he can do a time.
Oh, right.
I think. Do you remember the rule we had about it I think when the game first came out and it was incredibly dodgy? Oh
yes. Yeah, if you joined in, it.
Well, he just asked me, but that rule went out the window once they actually fixed the game.
Yeah. Well, that's about to say other people have done it already. Like they joined late.
So, this is what I say to the guys: if they're late joining through quality, just set a time. Plenty of time.
And Charlie has backed out already.
Charlie has backed out. I'm looking at his teammate, who set a time on the mediums. Ages ago, Ricky. Like, we've if you call this game, you're right, Deathstorm. If you call this game,
we got an Alfa Romeo cutting the corners. That is Archer.
Ooh.
On an outlap.
I don't know why he needs to do. But I don't even know why he needs to do. He's got plenty of time on the time.
Yeah, he's just being lazy. Problem is, I think it takes a while to get the tyres up to temperature because it's a night race.
Has run a ridiculous line and got away with it. That was disgusting. I think people just seen that on stream as well. That was filthy.
He's backed out.
What? Has?
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know.
He has.
Yeah, he has now. Yeah. That was disgusting. What I saw. He ran completely wide of turn 12, or as I like to call it still, blank curve, Lewis. That shows, if you know that shows how long you've been around here for.
Yeah. Oh, I know blank curve.
We all know blank.
It affected me in qualifying. Blank curve got me good. But I didn't crash, thankfully. In the race, it didn't happen either, which is more important. Yeah, blank curve, for any of the OGs in the league will know, we'll remember very well. In previous games, blank curve used to be a little bit more tricky.
It used to be a lot tricky. Now you can kind of take it flat. You still have to feather the throttle a little bit, but these guys won't be doing it.
On the front end.
These guys won't be doing it in qualifying because they're a lot better than us.
That's what you'd think.
You would hope. You would hope. Hudrick is improving by not much.
Some people retiring in the pits.
Yes, or on track. I have to do just a quick reminder for the new guys about it. Hudrick finishes up, improves to a 27.8. Bama in response is about to start another flying lap. Donny is finishing his lap. No, he's not. I don't know what's going on. I'm just getting them all on out laps, apparently.
Yeah, they're all on hot laps, I believe.
They all are on hot laps now. We'll go to Roik in the Williams because I have favouritism. Sorry. That is my team again this season. Lewis, have you switched teams?
I'm Mercedes.
Oh, he's the Merc.
It's because my teammate is called George and I'm called Lewis. It makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense, it does indeed. You and Wisey boy back together. And he popped in a good time in qualifying. It surprised a few of us.
Yeah, it surprised him. We were both like, we have no idea how we're going to be. I mean, he has done some racing, but not online. He's been doing it on the Cat Career mode. And yeah, he was really happy with that. And apart from the spin, which is his own error, he would have been right up there challenging the top 5. So yeah, very happy. Really looking good for this year.
It was a good race yesterday. VU2 looking very competitive as Roik improves marginally. His teammate is up as well. Apologies for the flicking through. I want to make sure I get the right people at the right time. Donny is up on his lap as a slow-moving McLaren moves to one side. Fruit popped in a lap of a 28.2, so he's on the board.
Minions, P2.
Minions has just gone P2. Donny has just gone to P5. Vaporizer is improving by a tenth and a bit. He's had a poor middle sector. Niels is going to come to the line. He'll be the last person to set a competitive lap time. Does improve marginally, puts him up back into P10, and Vamu drops down to P11.
That's it. Oh no, Vaporizer is because Vaporizer must have done the lap before. He's about to go in the pits now. Oh no, he's not. Now he restarts. That's the game. That's the quality session done. So Vaporizer gets P4 in the end, but Bama is our pole man in the Haas.
He's AM1 driver sticking his oar in and top of EU1. Minions is in second. Hudrick on his first qualifying session, P3. Vaporizer fourth. Jamie James slots himself into P5. We know how quick he can be. Donny P6 in his EU1 debut. Bread is in 7th. Roik 8th through 9th. We know that's just one shot, so there's a bit more to come from him. Neil 10th. Vamu down to 11th. Slightly disappointing qualifying, but I think rush practice. Hawkey 12th. Electroplay 13th. Pipetech 14th. Has 15th. Charlie 16th. And AJ 17th. A few struggling in qualifying, but fun enough, a bit like what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, this, I think. The strategies, tyre strategies, but also those first few laps, well, particularly that first lap, is there going to be a bit of drama straight away?
Well, hopefully everyone else can keep it clean. If there's people watching, if you can put your predictions in, that'd be fantastic. I think the thing is we'll probably talk about when it gets close to the pit stops, though, Lewis, is coming out on those cold tyres, especially into turn 1. We saw a couple of incidents there yesterday. No comment about myself. Where cold tyres and the first couple of corners, made it a bit tricky. We also saw a few spins as well, especially from the net leaders.
We saw a few spins in the formation lap. It was like, it was very odd. It was a bit of an odd race, but it's the first race of the year, so I'm like, okay, anything can happen.
First race,
and as Mario says, it usually does.
Well, first race of the season, and it doesn't get much easier as we head to Canada next week, but then we've got Kota, so that should be interesting. We finished though, Lewis, with what I feel is the right way of finishing a finale. We are in Brazil for round 18 on June the 5th. For these guys, it would be the 8th, I believe. Well, I've looked at the tyres. It's very mixed up, my friend. Very mixed up.
Yeah, it is.
In terms of hards and mediums, and it's pretty much 50-50. No one brave enough to go on the softs. We saw some people try and pull that stint this week.
Yeah, we got the top two on the hards, but the thing is, at the beginning, they're going to be struggling. It does take a while.
I was like a sitting duck yesterday for the first 4 or 5 laps. I was getting overtaken left, right, and centre. So who can pull a number then? Ricky's still backing a McLaren double podium and Bama. Defson's going to go with Bama, Minions and Fruit. So both agreeing on the fact there's going to be a Haas and a McLaren there. But
yeah. It's a little bit more hard tyres than the mediums. And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see P3 and Jammy. Those front runners, they've got to really make a really good start here, which they should do, but also get ahead. Owen as a spinner already.
Someone's casually doing a 360. I see people try and do this as a warm-up tactic. Too many people watching Yano up there.
Yeah.
Right. We're all ready, mate. This should be exciting. It is the last EU tier this week. 3, 4, 5 lights. The revs will build because we've got the glitch. We still have it in this game.
Years later.
And away we go. And both the leaders bogged down. It's the medium driver of Hardrick that seems to get a better start as we go 4 abreast into turn 1. Bama is defending. I think we're hopefully all going to make it relatively unscathed. Side by side though between the Haas and the Red Bull. It's an Alpine electric blade. Oh my god. The McLaren down the inside. Hardick, that was very
late, but it's still side by side and they're going to try and hang around, but the medium runner should give it up. The grip. Yeah, and he has done.
I think.
There's a Mercedes that spun out and an Alpine in the background. I just saw that.
Oh, Bread's internet is a bit.
That's Donny.
It is Donny. Bama's around the outside.
Our Electric Blade and Hawkeye, so both Alpines in the back of the field now.
That's a shame. Not disastrous for the likes of Donny. They are on the hard tyre, so they're on the right tyre. They'll go long into the stint, and we're expecting about 16 laps from the guys on the hards before they pit. Very ferocious and, on the whole, not bad wheel-to-wheel racing up front as we see the likes of Bama become under pressure from the medium guys. Hadrick kind of did. Oh, there's a contact between Jamie James. Oh, and big contact this time.
Yeah, Bama's all the way down.
Yeah, and Neil's just got a front wing damage, and he's on the mediums as well.
Terrible. That's the problem with being on those mediums.
Jamie James.
Oh, look at this. It's like 3 wide, 4 wide coming down the hairpin.
Donny.
Vape.
Hasn't Donny. Donny! Oh, AJ! Oh, that was really clumsy.
Yeah, this is really showing the green people haven't been racing in a while, to me.
It's not been the greatest start, let's put it that way, and it's not like...
Tell you what, Hadrick, he's checking out, as expected. Oh. He's got that lead and he's on the medium.
AJ's really struggling. Who's that? That's just spun. Niels, I think. Not a nice start for the Williams boys. It's both towards the back of the grid.
And that's the thing, these guys probably haven't done any race practice, so they've done their time trial, but now they're on heavy fuel loads and crucially on mediums or hard tyres. They've been doing their runs on soft tyre.
And Vamu is spun.
Yeah. Everyone's getting caught out. Well, apart from Minions, and the top three are doing alright. Jamie James also quietly.
Well, I would say quietly, but he has a rear-ended Bammer, so he's not had the quietest start to the race in the world. Charlie, under pressure from Vaporizer, he's had a decent start as Charlie. I'm mixing it with one of our tiers winners from last season.
Yep, and he's going to have DRS now coming out the exit of turn 1.
I think this is where... Yeah, well, I think this is where Charlie's massively improved, though. I think that race pace, and both the Williams top boys have retired, and that's not...
Side by side still.
Contact!
Now, to me, Vape should have just backed out. He was off the track. But he's alright. They've lived to fight another day.
I think Vaporizer he's just got to set him up this time round. Hawkeye down the inside of Has. We've probably just seen that as we saw in the background. Electric Blade is also ahead of Has. Now, Vaporizer is going to have to probably get past Charlie because he's got a certain individual sitting behind him that I know I don't want to have behind, and it is Fruit who's closing in. So Charlie's kind of causing a train now. But I'm expecting, yeah, Vaporizer will get him this time. He has to, I think.
Yeah, he will easy. I wouldn't even use my energy if I was him.
And he gets it done. Just need to watch the overspeed as you enter that first corner. We saw a couple of people break a little bit later yesterday in EU2 when they've got the DRS. You have to probably break it a little bit earlier with the speed that you get. But it's been, as you said, Lou, it's been chaotic. I know you said people talk about green racing, but I mean, a lot of these guys racing either other tiers in this league, but also in other leagues.
Well, this is the crazy thing. Both Alpines, the end of the first lap, were dead last, and now P8 and P9, they're absolutely flying. It just shows you how many people have had issues that they've been able to catch up and also overtake those people that had made errors. So they're already in the points, and Hawkeye is lining up Fruitful, and Henry down the inside. Oh, that's brave, and he just about saved that. I thought that was a bit late from him. It's not a deep braking area, and Fruitful was in his rights to shut the door because he wasn't alongside him.
Yeah, Brave started trying overtaking that corner anyway, just because of the nature of the corner, but also
you have to be alongside someone.
But also the traction zone. It's a corner where the back end can step out quite easily. There's a lot of traction zones around this track that just don't make sense. But Jack's going to try again, and he should get past. Although, hang on, Fruit out in front of them. Goes deep on the brakes. Charlie looking to go up and under, not once but twice. Fruit has, more importantly, got the DRS somehow off of Charlie.
Yeah.
And Charlie's going to go down the inside. Well, he got alongside of the car. Oh!
That was Yeah, to me, like, that's two guys battling it. And it should just give each other more room. It's that 5 at 29.
Has also made a mistake. Vamu's just run a bit wide there. Fruit is trying to regroup and go again, but I think he's let Vamu through. I think that McLaren's got damage.
No, he hasn't got damage. I don't think he's got damage. It was because he accidentally made contact with Vamo and it put Vamo off the track. So he overtook him unfairly, so he's just let him through again.
There enough. That's why you are my second pair of eyes I need. Although Fruit is pushing that Ferrari in front. Vamu clearly not happy with the car as the rear end dances again.
Yeah.
What can Jamie James do? Jamie James, 3 tenths behind Brett, who hasn't got any DRS. And Jamie James out breaks himself. Hadrick's managed to build himself up a nice 5-second lead already on the mediums, which
really
is
it. He is a happy chappy right now.
He is sitting pretty. As I think that's Has. It is definitely Has. Although, oh Charlie!
Ooh.
Just caught the end of that. That was, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got rear wing damage because that was a hefty hit. Pipe tech on AJ, and pipe tech's through. And Donny is, Donny's all over the back of these two and would love the fact they're fighting because that's going to help his hard tyres. Pipe just a little bit wide through that last corner. Everyone's going to have DRS, so the train continues. And AJ goes down the inside. And Donny's also looking to peek his way through, but he's got Vamu close behind.
So, Minions, it's about almost half a second of a lap at the moment between Hadrick and Minions. There's a bit of a DRS train behind Minions. Just got Jamie James catching up, and he's now within DRS. And there's a bit of a gap to Vaporizer, and Hawkeye has got past Blade. So those Alpine guys are flying.
The Alpine
P6 and P7 now. Imagine what would have happened if they had not had the issue with, early on in the lap 1.
But who knows in general? It's. Then we saw how the AlphaTauris were doing quite well, and all of a sudden it turns very quickly back down in 13th and 14th. It's a cruel game, this one.
Cruel game.
Sorry, I'm just trying to do a message here at the same time. Yellow flag, and that is for Donny, who's dropped it.
So, what else we got here? Minions 6.1 now behind, so the mediums have still got performance, and it's going to be a tricky one. The only advantage it could be for these hard runners, see it happening, is Hadrick having to pit for hards, and then a safety car comes out, or a VSC, to allow the hard runners to have a perfectly timed pit stop. That's the only thing I can see potentially happening. But any close battles? I mean, really, the Alpine boys are working very nicely, but they are 4.5 seconds behind the Ferrari driver at the moment of Vaporizer. Excuse me. And then you got a train of AJ, Pipe Tech, Fruitful, and Vamo. Pipe Tech all over the back of AJ.
Yeah, he's been trying to eye up this move for a long time, and Fruit's just been sitting there patiently, and he's just not been able to get past yet. And
yeah, he's patiently waited, and he's like, right, okay, I'm now going to go. If you're not going to do something about this, I'm going to go.
Well, he's going to have to go. You look at the drivers that he's trying to compete against. It is the likes of Bread, Minions, and Hadrick, and although qualifying was poor and he's a few places behind them, he's now how much off the lead? He's 22 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, it's massive, absolutely massive right now. Crazy, it's bonkers.
Which is
I'm guessing Fruitful hasn't done much running in a while.
Oh, that was very close.
Oh, yeah.
In all fairness to Pipe Tech, he is hanging on, and that's saying it kindly against Fruit. Fruit's just going to have to. He's just going to have to go for it. He's got to go for it this time round. And yeah, he is. He's got ERS, but he's got. Problem is DRS in front. There's Bread has spun, I believe. He has, and he's dropped down to 5th. Fruit is passed.
Oh.
He's passed the Aston Martin.
Can he get a double DRS here? He hasn't got much energy to do it. I'd save the energy. Knowing that AJ's not got much energy left.
Vamu's gone to the outside of Pipe Tech. I think Pipe Tech and AJ have kind of hurt themselves here by battling and burning all their ERS. You can see the red flashy light at the back of the car.
He's right on the gearbox now, that Red Bull.
It's got to be have to be so careful through 9 and 10.
Oh, look at the drive that the McLaren gets. Those mediums are starting to go off on AJ. It's the yellow in sector 2.
It's just a slow moving Charlie. And it's kind of spread out, really. We got the battle between. Donny's just dropped it. Oh, so frustrating because he's been actually hanging on to these guys quite easily, to be fair.
Yeah.
You've got the Alpines sitting in 6th and 7th, just minding their own business.
And here comes Electric Blade making the move on Hawkey. The two teammates. Either working together or not, I'm not sure.
Vamu's down the inside of AJ, possibly. No, AJ hangs it out. He's going to go across the curb. They touch. It's a DRS.
Oh, Charlie's retired in the pits.
In the pits, yeah. He's had a go. That's all we can ask, really. We know Charlie's capability, so...
Fruitful's 6 seconds almost behind those two Alpines. And Minion's actually been able to get out of DRS.
And AJ has run wide. Sorry to cut you off. AJ has run wide. There. And lost a few positions. So this battle for what is 8th is... think well and truly over now. The guys on the mediums are struggling.
Yeah, it's actually pulling away. Minions pulling away, and we're getting to that stage now where the medium runners are going to be looking to pit. Well, who knows? You're looking normally around 13, 14 if you're going to pit on the mediums, unless there is another reason, maybe another strategy. Maybe go medium to softs, for example. It's got a bit of a buffer, although the second half of this race you expect minions and Vaporizer will be coming back, and amazingly, Hadrick is still. I think he's still pulling away. Not as much now, but it's an impressive 7.7 second lead now.
Yeah, I think the mediums are good. I think both what you're seeing here is two sets of tyres that are decent race tyres.
Yeah. Yeah, soft doesn't last long at all. But
no,
we
saw the longevity of the mediums being used in E3 on Monday. As Jamie James has pitted. Now, this is also the other thing, because of the tyre warm-up specifically on this game compared to last game, Lewis, you probably found out the same as I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Takes a while to get going, especially if you're on the harder compound of tyre.
Absolutely. Well, I experienced this at Bahrain last year. It's because of being a night race, track temperature just isn't as hot as at other circuits. So, on that hard tyre, in particular, it does take a good lap for the tyres to really get up to temperature on those hards.
The medium should be slightly better, but yeah, the hard tyres in particular. So, probably looking at more of an, dare I say, an overcut, actually, rather than your traditional undercut because of it. AJ's managed to come out in some clean air. Jamie James has got some clean air, but Donny is behind him. In fact, Jamie's dropped it. Donny nearly followed suit.
And that's Jamie on those new hards. Cold hards it's tricky.
And what we saw that yesterday? I mean, we saw my brother do it. We saw Luke get into trouble yesterday as well.
Oh, and Hadrick pits.
Hadrick does pit. Gap out to 8 seconds in the lead. Binions will inherit the lead with Vaporizer in second, and Brett is in third. Probably expecting Jack Hawkey to be approaching soon. And in fact, he does. So.
Yeah, and Hadrick is going to come out in nice, fresh air.
Do you know what he's going to do? He's going to come out ahead of Fruit as well. That shows you how much time Fruit has lost on the first 14 laps. And he's
However, it's... Oh, he's going to struggle here. Be very careful on the throttle.
Oh, isn't it?
I expect Fruit to get past
Jamie James has lost it. And interestingly, Jack Hawkey's managed to come out ahead of Electric Blade.
Ooh.
I know. Oh, indeed. But shows you how much time Fruit lost. Fruit is...
Oh, it's the overcut, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I expect Electric Blade now to catch up, though, quite considerably, and he is. He's eating into that lap pressure... lap of tyre temp getting in. You got a yellow, that's Jamie again, I believe.
Struggling with the warm-up of those tyres.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
The thing is, some of these guys, as you said, multiple drivers, not just in this tier, but in our tiers that we have, race in different leagues. But some of them are still, some of them still do struggle. But majority of people have not picked up the game for a couple of months because the time we've been off.
Yeah.
And just because of the general interest of it, it's a game that's been very inconsistent, especially traction zones, and people just not finding the reward out of it, and unfortunately it's just not been enjoyable. It's been one of those years.
I've checked pits.
It's in the pits. Electric Blade's left the session. That's not good. Are you able to invite him back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
interesting though, it's the same kind of time he went yesterday, which is interesting.
Who's that? Sorry, who's gone again?
Electric Blade.
Okay, alright.
Jamie James has retired in the pits after what can only be described as a torturous couple of laps on those hard tyres. We saw that yesterday from people as well. Taz is in the wall? Question mark. Where is he? He's okay. He's carrying on.
It says for invites and requests, I can only send invites.
Leave it with me.
Friends.
No, he's already done it. Alright.
Oh, yeah, he's in.
He's back in. Happened yesterday as well, strange. Minions 1.6 seconds ahead of Vaporizer. As Vamu has pitted, so does Donny. I think for the first couple of races in all tiers, it's people trying to work each other out and also getting laps under the belt. I feel as we've got a massive gap between 5th and 6th, which is a shame for Electric Blade because he needs to really catch, because both the Alpines are in touching distance with Fruit.
Fruit now would love a safety car late on. A lot of these hard runners would love a late safety car.
Bread is in and Fruit is in, so this is going to be interesting. So we're on board with Jack Hawkey. Bread will come out comfortably ahead of them. The McLaren will be on the right-hand side of left-hand side of our screen. It's got one behind. It's whether it's going to be behind the other one. Electric Blade is round the outside of Fruit, which we had a feeling that was actually going to happen. More importantly, though, still ahead of Vamu. So.
I'll tell you what, Hawkey's flying. Electric Blade.
Well, Electric Blade
He lost it. Yeah, sorry.
He lost. Well, saying that he had lost a little bit. He's gained a little bit of time on him. Those two Alpines, pretty similar in pace. The one I was going to mention is Vaporizer's pulled the lap before 4/10 back into Minions, as the Red Bull seems to be, and Vaporizer pits, more importantly. That's interesting. So he's got to try and get out in front of.
Well, it'll be Archer.
Yeah,
already out.
Archer or Bread. I'm going to call him Bread.
That pit lane. McLaren drives by. So Hadrick through. And obviously the big thing is going to be those mediums getting up to temperature, and then what kind of pace does Vaporizer have, and can he catch up with... We crossed the white line, which I thought was a dodge, but we got 12 laps to go, rather.
And that gap's probably going to work its way out to 9 seconds. So 12 laps, 9 seconds. Possibly doable. Who knows? So that means Minions, we're hoping, probably is going to come in as Fruit is past Electric Blade. We're waiting for Minions to come in. He will be possibly a second in front of Vaporizer. We don't know, which means can the two medium guys hunt down the McLaren, which would be very interesting. Has spun it, and he's okay.
Yeah, it'll be quite unfortunate event to have a safety car around here. We had one yesterday, but it was very late
on. Minions is in. Right, okay, here we go then. And it is for the medium tyre.
And he actually did, it was 15 seconds the gap. So he's already out of his pit. He's in the pit lane. I think Minions will stay ahead of Vaporizer.
He will stay ahead of Vaporizer. It won't be by much. It will be by about a second, I reckon.
Yeah.
And possibly less. Now, is this going to be Vaporizer's chance to overtake the Red Bull? 7.7 is the gap, Lewis. That's what we've got to look out for. So, actually, that's come down.
Yeah, but also you've got to remember Hadrick had to get his tyres up to temperature. And now you can see the gap at the moment is going up because the mediums are going up to temperature. And Vaporizer's all over the back of him already, so you can see that. The 1 lap difference, this out lap rather, is not good on these tyres. It's cold track temperature.
So to some extent it's worked for Minions because he's managed to gain nearly a second on Hadrick overall, but as you mentioned, Vaporizer will be chomping at the bit to get past him.
Yeah, and that's just, you remember that's the undercut, so he hasn't really gained much in that undercut. But now we're coming up to 10 laps to go. And he come back, but Vaporize is going to be able to challenge here. And he's got the DRS as well for it. Red Bull won't use his energy.
No energy used. Vaporizer goes past. Now, they need to probably try not fight and work together in some way to try and hunt this McLaren down, and well, at least bring the gap down to about 3 seconds over the next few laps if they can, to just put a little bit of pressure on our race leader. Vamu and Electric are fighting. They're still fighting, and Vamu is past. Donny has got past Pipe Tech. That's for not Donny's also pitted for the mediums. Now, he'll be trying to chase down the likes of Electric Blade, who's on the hard tyre.
Look at that, it's already a second taken out. Hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
6.8 seconds already. Vaporizer is flying on these mediums. And he's already got out of the DRS zone. He's just at a purple sector too.
Hardrick's also on 5% ERS, so it's not like he's got some to stay. Is Vaporizer doing something that we're about to witness? He's doing something. 28.8, 29.8.
He's gone 1.4 seconds quicker than he did in the last, his previous best, basically. Yeah, Hadrick now is going to be...
Let us believe, Ricky. God.
Obviously, the mediums do have that window, and by the time he catches him, it's probably going to be a very even performance on the tyre.
We can only dream, although he has just gone 4 tenths slower through that first sector. Although it's going to be this... it's going to be this middle sector where it's going to be perhaps a little bit better, especially this traction zone.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't know where Stream Elements is. Strange. He's struck fear into the McLaren, and the McLaren has seemed to respond at the moment.
Yeah. A time penalty, Shegrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hadrick has got a back marker, so he's going to get DRS down this straight. From Haz.
Yeah, from Haz, who's pulled over to one side.
Oh, and Minion's got back into DRS zone. They didn't take quite so much that time, but it's still now it's.
Yeah, and the problem is, has he then pushed those tyres a bit too much on that lap that he went a bit gung-ho over and overheated them?
Possibly.
That is still a possibility. Other closest battle on track is Jack Hawke. He's holding off Fruit. Oh, there's a spinner. That is Haz. Causing a nice little distraction for everyone.
Yeah, Hawkey and Fruitful. Fruitful's coming through on a charge here. Oh, he hit the curb though, Fruitful.
Yeah, you see that, lost 6 tenths in that one corner.
Yeah. Still, he is within DRS. We got yellow in sector 3. Oh, that's Haz, I think, again.
Fair credit to Haz. He's still soldiering on. Fruit is still stuck behind. AJ's closing on Pipe Tech. Now, we've seen that one before. Has retired. I believe that would be in the pits. Commentator's curse on that. I said he's soldiering on. He's now retired. So, getting to the stage. Sector 1, there is a yellow flag, but I can't see because I've got all the comments in the front. So that is has his car making an appearance. Bama is in the pits. Bama is going to be, I can't use the word Lewis, but he's going to be a pain for people because I believe he's going to take the fastest lap of a certain individual. Vaporizer gap down to 5.1.
It's chipping away. Whether or not he's in I think at this rate though, it's just not quite enough.
No, Hadrick's got no ERS. He's burning the life out of it. So
yeah, oh yeah.
Very hard to get back around this track, which I like because that means you have to be really a bit tactical with it rather than just.
Yeah.
Did it just press it for the sake of pressing it? There'll be plenty of tracks like that on the calendar. Imola, Monza as well.
Yeah.
We've got coming up. I presume. Have you seen the calendar?
Yes, I have.
Should be very exciting. Some tracks that we've not done for a while. China's back in it. I can't remember the last time I've raced around China in a league race. So that should be an interesting round. That's the penultimate round. We go to the likes of we go to Portimao for round 5, where we'll be moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster. So Yeah, we're Canada and USA, then Baku, Portugal, and Mexico. That brings us to a week break. Reason for it is an 18 race calendar designed to get us to the new game, with our league season concluding the week beginning June the 5th. Also gives us a chance if there's any reruns required throughout. So it's a 6 weeks, then a break, and 6 weeks, then a break,
That's
and then 6 weeks.
I very much like how it's been presented, in that way. Got the nice breaks in between the races.
For some people, it helps with a switch off, especially for some of us that work during busy periods of the year.
Yeah. Vaporizer 4.4 seconds, 4.3, and Minions is following close behind, half a second. 4 laps to go, or 5 laps to go rather.
Whilst I was just waffling on, Fruit got past Jack Hawkey, but Jack's still just about staying with him at the moment. Pipetek's just holding off AJ, and I don't think it'll be for much longer because AJ's got DRS. Pipetek defends the inside, AJ goes to the outside. This is important for the last championship point. AJ needs to get past him because he has a time penalty, and he has done, and Bama has been that guy, and I absolutely love it.
Not a lot taken out on this lap. 4.1 is, say, a few tenths. Oh, and Vapor has a massive moment. The rear end, a tank slapper, but he holds it up just.
Yeah, it didn't cost him. But it didn't cost him much, though, that little tank slapper.
No, but it was obviously not a good lap because Minions right back up with him now.
And Minions was slightly more DRS. Is he letting Vaporizer be the donkey at the front, like you see in like the Tour de France?
Yeah,
Do all the hard work and go, I'll just sit here, coast behind you, and then pow, I'll take all the glory. Because they're still within touching distance of Hadrick if he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
But so far we haven't seen one on his impressive debut. Cue mistake. Yeah. Come on, that's how it looks. AJ not really pulling away. Jack Hawkey's not been dropped by Fruit. I say that, he's just hovering over the edge of the DRS.
Yeah.
I think just the chaos at the start of the race has kind of just meant people have strung out a bit, unfortunately, on this one. Gap only so 3.8 that time, so only 3 or 4 attempts on that lap. Needs a lot more, and we have 3 to go. Thanks to Ricky and Deathstorm and Steve for keeping us company throughout. Don't think any of the predictions are going to be right either.
Yeah.
From memory. What was the... Oh, and Stream Elements, yes, it's Stream Elements. Thanks for being here, just for the sake of being here.
2.5 to go.
Yeah, 2.5 to go. Gap down to 3.5 seconds. I'll take a bit more out of this lap a little bit through the middle sector, but Hadrick's found some kind of response.
Yeah, I think he's just been able to do enough. Really,
AJ made a mistake and had a spin, so lost out to that. I had no idea what Bam was doing. He slowed down. So I think, truth be told, I think our race leader has got this one covered off. unless something catastrophically goes on. So it's the battle for second and third, but just which way round. Fruit has got an annoying Alpine behind him still. He's still not been able to shake off Jack Hawkey. In fact, Jack got very close that time round. And possibly could shape up for a move into 4. The Alpine's getting closer and closer. Fruit looks to defend the inside. Jack goes round. No, he doesn't go round the outside. Holds on. Gap to lead down to 3 seconds. So they're going to need something monumental with 4 sectors to go. Fair play to the second and third. They have been chasing down Hadrick. Remember, gap to the lead at one point was over 9 seconds, so it's good work from the guys behind. Donny's got past Electric. I don't know that's whether because Electric spun or there was some contact, but Donny's up to 8th. And you have to say, for someone like him, sort of race comparative to someone like Vamu, who we know how quick he can be. So Hadrick's turned his engine down from lap 15. Don't say that. Don't say he's like a prime, like a Lewis, where he goes, oh yeah, just I just take the car home and then pow, fastest lap on the last lap of the race. A few guys flashing with fuel. No safety cars or VSCs throughout the race, Lewis. Yeah. Amazingly.
Yeah.
Hang on. Fruit. Jack Hawkey's gone down the inside of Fruit. He's run a bit deep. Fruit goes the up and under.
Oh. Holds it on.
Not quite extreme as Sirotkin and a Sonoda, but...
Yeah. Gap has come down, but Hadrick has done enough.
Yeah, we'd like to say he's got it covered off. A Vaporizer hasn't quite got minions out of arm's reach yet, but I think that may be it, because they've only really got one straight to go. Hadrick goes round the final corner and impressively wins the opening round of EU1 on debut with a fine drive. Vaporizer minions gave us some entertainment for second and third. Donny is going slowly because I think he's run out of fuel. Bread, debutant as well, 4th place, solid. I think he can be really happy with that result. Fruit is going to just beat off Jack.
He does.
To 5th place, only by 3/10 of a second. Vamu will come home in 7 points for Vamu. Plenty more to come, I'm sure. Electric Blade. Yeah, you heard what I said. I've realised what I said after. Blades has run out of petrol. Donny has also done the same. So hang on. Pipe Tech could go through.
I think he's just about going to get it. Yeah, he'll get there just in time.
Donny does enough. Pipe Tech keeps that point ahead. But AJ Bama is like a Trojan coming home. Not to be from pole position, but he will complete the 12 guys that have finished, all on the lead lap. And a 360 to boot. You could have done that slightly better. And that concludes the opening round.
Look at that. As they sprink the rose water.
Yeah, they do indeed. There you go. Hadrick started P3 on the grid, made a fantastic choice on the mediums, and that was it. Got past and kept the lead. Vaporizer second, Minions third. Fruit battled his way up to fourth place. Jack Hawkey fifth will be happy with that, I think, on his full EU1 debut. Bread sixth, Vamu seventh, Electric Blade up to eighth. Donny ninth, still got some points. Pipe Tech got the last point ahead of AJ and Bama. Dunster has Jammy James, Charlie, and a sorry day for the Williams team.
Yeah.
And then we'll invite the guys in for a quick chat before we go. Well, we've invited all the drivers. I now can't leave the session, which is fantastic, so we'll just leave it there. Vaporizer is here, which is good. And as he is the first one here, we'll chat to him first. Vaporizer, congratulations.
Thank you.
P2. Probably just quite nice to be back racing, but also finishing and getting a podium.
Yeah, decent result after the first lap, I think, and good to be back as well.
Good to be back. Good to have you back. Look, you kept us entertained for the last stint. You gave us hope, and then it looked like it was going away, and then you gave us hope again. Was there any chance, or did Hadrick just have enough to cover you off?
No, I don't think so. I didn't have any ERS anyway to overtake, and he was probably on a full battery, so even if I could stop,
he wasn't, by the way.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Okay.
He had drained it all, I think.
I had a lot of overspeed, but still, I don't know. It would have been hard to overtake.
And then obviously the threat from minions just lurking in the shadows behind you, that was probably put a little bit of pressure on.
Yeah, I got out of the DRS zone, but then I just I messed up one lap, and he just got back, and I didn't have any ERS left after that, so I couldn't get out of it. And he just stayed there, and he wasn't really a threat. I think it was a bit quicker, but he was getting close sometimes, but I think I had him covered.
Fair enough. Well,
if I made a mistake, I would have been fucked.
Well, congratulations anyway, as you're the only one that seemed to have made it here. Look, P2, hopefully we'll be seeing you quite a bit more, I think. This season should be an interesting battle out front between a few of you, so
Yeah, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Congratulations, and see you next week.
Thanks.
Right, Lewis, I'm going to wrap it up there because I've given the other two enough time to come and join us. Thank you for sitting alongside me. You won't have to listen to my boring voice next week because you'll have some Dutch tones back. So I'm sure.
I don't think Thomas is commentating next week.
What? This is outrageous behaviour. Oh, I think it's Danny instead.
It's because of the football. Adu are in the cup game.
Sure. Yep. Brilliant. I'm going to have words with that Dutchie when I see him. So Lewis will be here next week. It probably most likely be Danny alongside him, who would make his first commentating appearance this season, which is weird to say. And these guys will be at Canada next week, same time, 9 p.m. UK on a Thursday. We got some Friday night action. We've got cross-play no assist here. That's been launched this season. So drop into those guys. I believe it's an earlier start of 8 p.m. So 1 hour earlier. That's 8 p.m. UK time. Other than that leaves me with not much else to say. Thank you very much for watching and good night.